Everyone in life has a Heather, everyone has that one person that you can't help it. You're just really jealous of them and you hate them a little bit, but you're also like, gosh, you're so perfect. Why do I hate you? So I wrote this song while I was sitting in bed, and I'd wanted to write a song about this experience for so long, but I was always like way too, I guess, almost embarrassed to talk about it. Like no one really wants to admit that they're really jealous of someone, and I also was scared that maybe like I was the only one who ever felt that way, or I thought maybe people would judge me or tell me that I'm a bad person for feeling that way, because there was no reason why I should be able to dislike Heather, because she was wonderful. I still remember 3rd of December, me in your sweater. You said it looked better on me than it did you. Only if you knew how much I liked you, but I'll watch your eyes as I wrote the song about the person that I was really in love with when I was in high school. I'm like recounting this day on December 3rd, which is 2 days before my birthday. So I got my heart just like obliterated 2 days before my birthday. I had this one sweater that they really liked, and I would wear it over and over and over because I knew that if I wore it, that they would be like, oh, I love that sweater. I'm like, I know you love that sweater. I just, maybe I put it on for your attention. Walks by, what a sight for sore eyes, brighter than a blue sky. She's got you mesmerized while I die. She was just like the most wonderful person you could ever meet. She was beautiful inside and out, just like kind and sweet, never mean to anyone, so wonderful and smart and hardworking and lovable and soft and sweet. And I'd always felt like I'm none of those things. I'm not easily lovable. I feel like I'm kind of one of those more abrasive people. And she was kind of always everything that I wasn't. And so every time I looked at her, I was like, oh, like you're so perfect. Like you're everything that I'm not. Along with that, the person that I really liked in high school didn't like me back. They liked Heather, And so anytime Heather would walk by or anytime we were around Heather, I would look at the person that I was in love with for years and years, and they weren't looking back at me. They were looking at Heather, and that's just kind of the truth of the situation. And sometimes it just be like that. Why would you ever kiss me? I'm not even half as pretty. For so much of my life, even now, I find it like really hard to believe when somebody likes me. I'm like, why would you? I think I was so accustomed to hating myself my whole entire life and being told that I should hate myself that it's really hard for me to just like accept love. I think it's maybe a Gen Z thing. Like we're all very like I don't know. We really don't, we're not very nice to ourselves. The chorus to me is like me listing out all the things all the reasons why it makes sense that my crush doesn't love me back and loves Heather instead. You gave her your sweater, it's just polyester, but you like her better. Wish I were Heather. Of course you're in love with Heather. I'm in love with Heather. Who isn't in love with Heather? Watch as she stands with her holding your hand. Put your arm around her shoulder. Now I'm getting colder. It's only been a little bit of time since I've been in high school. Not that much time has passed, but it still feels extremely fresh to me. And it comforts me that like everyone has somebody like that. It makes me feel like, oh, I'm not alone in this feeling. It also makes you feel bad, like, geez, like, who hurt all of us? Like, we all deserve to have reciprocated love. Like, I feel so bad that there's, like, millions of people on Earth who are like, no one's ever liked me back either. Like, I'm sorry. But how could I hate her? She's such an angel. But then again, kinda wish she were dead. I always couldn't really justify hating her, but I couldn't help the fact that, like, when I looked at her, I was like, God damn, I wish you didn't exist. That was kind of one of the lines where I was like, yeah, like, I'm so sorry, Heather. Like, you're so wonderful, but I do wish you were dead. But I don't. Heather, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I wish I were Heather. It's really funny because like so many people have like gone online and been like, oh, like I'm Heather, like Conan wrote Heather about me. And I'm like, first of all, that's a really bold thing to say. Like imagine this, like imagine you're like sitting somewhere and like you like hear a song about how like a person who's legitimately perfect and you're like, ah, that song's about me. Like the like ego, like the self-confidence you need for that's honestly pretty impressive. But it's also weird because like it's all these like random people I've like never seen in my life. I'm like, Jesus, like people really believe anything they see on the internet. Like I could literally be like, oh yeah, Heather's about Phineas and Ferb. And they'd be like, it's about Phineas and Ferb. Like people just believe anything. So I think it's kind of a funny, weird witch hunt that's going on. And I think it's more just like, you know, if the song means something to you, that's what it means. And everyone has their own Heather, you know, like it doesn't really matter who the original Heather is. It's a lot more like, you know, you have a Heather and you're ignoring it by trying to look for the original Heather, but like you're ignoring the fact that you have a Heather and you're like, you know, it's Heather. You have one already. It is embarrassing how many songs I've written about the same like two people in my life.